we're going to talk about a very specific feeling. You know, it's one of those quiet anxieties that kind of hums just beneath the surface for a lot of us. We're going to dive into what it means to feel embarrassed, but not for yourself, for someone else. I mean, of course, right? We all have. But I want you to think about a totally different kind of embarrassment. Not the kind where you're the one who tripped or said the wrong thing or fumbled your words. Not your mistake. It's that feeling, that cringe you get when someone's talking way too loud in a restaurant, or they tell a joke that completely bombs at a party. They just miss a social cue that feels so incredibly obvious to you and everyone else. And in that instant, your body just reacts. It's almost involuntary. Your chest gets tight, your shoulders creep up towards your ears, and your stomach just plummets. You get this powerful urge to just look away, to vanish, even though you've done absolutely nothing wrong. And there's this little voice in your head, almost a prayer, just going, please, oh please, just stop. And you're left wondering, why does this hurt so much when it's not even happening to me? Okay, so if any of this is sounding familiar, I really need you to hear this. You're not being weird, you're not being overly dramatic, and you are so not alone in this. This is a real thing. You know, what's so fascinating is how differently people process this. For some people, someone else's awkward moment is, well, it's like a passing breeze. It's uncomfortable for a second and then poof, it's gone. But for you, it's different. It sticks around. It lingers. It actually feels like it settles deep into your body. So why? Why do you have such a strong physical reaction? Well, this intense feeling doesn't just pop up out of the blue. It's actually a learned awareness, something that's been building for a really long time. See, people who feel this kind of secondhand embarrassment are often just deeply aware. And this isn't a flaw. It's not about being too sensitive. It's more like having a finely tuned radar. You're emotionally alert. You're constantly reading the room, picking up on these tiny shifts in tone, micro-expressions, little changes in the energy that most people just don't notice. And this skill, it often starts in childhood. Maybe you learned really early on to monitor the moods of the adults around you to keep the peace. You figured out that if you could sense trouble before it started, you could maybe stop something bad from happening. So over the years, your brain literally wired itself to seize social danger as a top-tier threat. And that brings us to today, where your body reacts to a simple social blunder as if it's a full-blown emergency. That's the alarm bell going off inside your head. It's this deep, primal instinct shouting, something bad is about to happen. Fix it. But here's the key. This anxiety isn't just about being polite. It's about feeling responsible. You feel like it's your job to keep the emotional peace, to maintain harmony, even when it has nothing to do with you. And this creates a kind of unseen, emotional labor. You end up confusing your natural empathy with an obligation to manage everyone else's feelings. Let me ask you this, straight up. When you see someone else embarrass themselves, does some small part of you feel like you failed? Like you should have stepped in or warned them or somehow saved the moment? If you said yes, then you know this silent job all too well. It's this constant state of swallowing tension, absorbing all the discomfort in the room, and mentally trying to smooth everything over. It is exhausting work. And because nobody else sees you doing it, nobody ever says thank you. You just carry it. Now, it's really important to get this. This is not a weakness. Your nervous system learned how to stay one step ahead of chaos to protect you. But what kept you safe back then might be completely draining you now. So, what's the cost? What does this constant state of high alert actually steal from you? Well, it mainly robs you of three really important things. First, your presence. You can't ever be fully in the moment if a part of your brain is always on guard duty, scanning for problems. Second, it gets in the way of real, authentic connection. And third, it slowly, quietly erodes your trust in yourself. Let's talk about connection for a second. If you're always busy regulating the room, who's taking care of you? You end up telling yourself things like, oh, I don't want to be a burden, or it's fine, I can handle it. And that stops you from being vulnerable and really connecting with people. And this is a perfect example of losing self-trust. Your logical brain knows. It knows that a friend telling a bad joke isn't actually dangerous. But your body still sounds the alarm. And that gap, that space between what you know is true and what your body feels is true,
That is exactly where this anxiety lives and grows.
So, what on earth do we do about this? Well, the goal isn't to stop caring. Your empathy is a superpower, it's not the problem. The goal is to make a small, gentle shift in perspective, to start returning the responsibility for other people's moments back to them. We can start by just reframing that story your body tells you. The old story screams, "Danger! This is my responsibility. I have to intervene." But the new understanding, the new story, just calmly says, "This is a feeling. This is not my failure, and it's okay to just let this moment pass." Someone else's awkward moment is not your emergency to solve. Here's a really simple practice you can try. The next time that wave of secondhand embarrassment hits you, first, just pause. Don't do anything. Second, name what's happening. Say to yourself, this is embarrassment for someone else. Third, just feel it. Notice the tightness in your chest or the heat in your face, but don't act on it. And finally, let it fall. Just imagine the feeling passing over you, like a cloud. You might be surprised how often these moments just resolve all by themselves. And if this all has felt uncomfortably accurate for you, I want you to really hear this. It just means you've been carrying way more emotional weight than anyone, and maybe even you, ever gave you credit for. And here's the most important part. You have permission to put that weight down. You don't have to scan every room you walk into. You don't have to fix every awkward silence. You don't have to anticipate every single thing that could possibly go wrong. You can let go of that silent, invisible job of managing the world around you. You can let other people have their own experiences, their own awkward moments, their own lessons. And in that space you create for yourself, you might just find a little bit more peace. You can just be.